Alrighty. Welcome to part 2 of Press Pause Radio's Games Club companion video for The Wolf Among Us. Fucking zounds.
Neon Returns.
So, if you haven't played the right amount of catch-up, which you fucking should. I mean, we haven't really... I don't think we fucked up the labeling. This is part 2. So don't watch this unless you finish part 1.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So we're at the start of episode 3. We're currently just approaching the bridge, and we've just learned of Crane's role in this entire thing, and Snow's proceeding over essentially the Lily's. I don't know if you want to call it funeral or memorial. Her memorial. She's proceeding over that. So one of the options that you have from here is to either interrupt it or chill out. I chilled out.
Yep.
Last thing I needed to do was start some shit.
Especially and Lawrence doesn't look as dead as we saw him last.
No,
so that's good.
No, oh no. I'm assuming that the bullet hole in his lung and all that other stuff is not so much of a big deal now. And plus, getting to talk to him a little bit more was it definitely adds a lot of flavor text because, like I said, that the current status quo of the marriage of him and Faith were a bit in shambles, but just getting to talk to him more and more, you really you'll get the vibe that he really cared about Faith, that he loved her.
Well, and I think it also kind of and he kind of mentioned the word closure. I think that's something that you kind of get with that interaction, because the Faith aspect of the story doesn't really come up again until near the end. I think at this point, Bigsby's got so many other things he's trying to fight for that Faith was just kind of the catalyst, to kind of start his investigation, start his quest for justice. So I think at that point, it kind of closes off that part of the story. And obviously there's bigger things at play now.
Is everything okay?
So, yeah, and Holly's fucking mad.
Yeah, she is.
And even when you're cool about the situation, so again, for those of you playing the home game, even though I've done my best to basically try and work with her, as you can tell, Crane fucking tossed her body down the witching well anyway.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. No wonder she's pissed.
Yeah, but I fucking promised that we'd get her body back, so we now have a broken promise from me.
Yep.
But this genuinely wasn't his fault.
I think I chose Y there too. Yeah, that was a good response.
Yeah.
And he says, "Yep, agree on something. It's the truth."
Yeah, and it's weird too because did he actually agree with you in your playthrough in his armless agreement?
He actually did, yeah, surprisingly, even though I fucked him up pretty royally. It's kind of weird seeing him with an arm there, it just kind of throws me off now.
It's so weird, yeah. And even though you can kind of spring the whole, you can just fucking dump all the information
Everything.
here.
Yeah.
Which I chose not to do. I definitely chose to be a lot more secretive.
A little more discreet, yeah.
Yeah, so, and even then, I can, and I try to have the most empathy I can. Well, the thing that throws me off is why the fuck is Vivian there?
Yeah.
That's the one thing that really threw me off.
Well, it seems like from, later on in the game, it seems like Lily, Lily, right? Because that's Holly you're talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so her, Lily, and Narissa and Faith, they were all kind of close, I thought.
Well, I didn't think Vivian so much, but Narissa, Lily, and Faith were.
But I think Vivian, I think she kind of acted like she was close to them, but probably had ulterior motives. But I think initially she acted like she was close to them. Well, at least that's the impression that I got.
Yeah, so I tried to break this to her as much as I can, and even then, there's a bit more direct way to do it that's
which I
almost
ended up
soul
taking.
crushing.
I mean, I kind of just I usually was blunt with Snow. You know, I didn't like. I should have tippy-toed around it, you know, for her sake. But I felt like just giving her the news, like, and just letting her kind of deal with it was a little bit more of a better approach, you know.
I'm just trying
Well,
Yeah, but no, I definitely threw it at her like just full force.
to picture it. To not
and here I couldn't help but like again kind of mention something a bit more affectionate towards it, because like I said, at any point that I have the opportunity to show her affection,
This is what he's been doing? Because please, Bigby,
I figured I'd do so. So yeah, I totally did not show her the illicit photo, but I heard you totally fuck her up mentally if you do.
I don't think I did, but
God.
now I'm wondering if I did or not. I don't know. I can't remember.
I doubt Crane's there at this hour,
Yeah,
There is a chance I may have.
but this
yeah, but I figured Snow would just take my word for it.
Yeah,
That, you know, hey, I got some photos.
we got some proof.
Are they starting the burn? Yes.
And then this shit right here,
Should really
this upcoming little scenario, which again,
Yeah.
I felt really uneasy
don't mean to.
by it, but I did trust her information because she definitely dropped like the biggest bomb towards getting the clue. But you know,
At the motel.
I still didn't know how to think because her secrecy, I didn't know if it was still reinforced by spell or anything. But right here, yeah, I just had to call her out on it. I had to, anything
Oh,
that I could
wow.
do to like read her.
And she knew about it already. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Coming.
Seems like you had her pegged for like from the moment you started talking to her.
Yeah, there, like I said, there's a lot of things that the game telegraphs. Now, this particular moment wasn't the best, just because it kind of makes you feel like you fucked up, regardless of how well you.
Yeah, no matter how you handle it, they're still gonna. Yeah, it's true.
So I wasn't a huge fan of this particular moment because, like, you know, I felt like at least like especially with Telltale's like very unforgiving design towards like, you know, fucking the player over in some sort of situation. They like to operate in degrees of their fucking capital punishment.
They will. They'll usually paint you into a corner, and then you're like, well, I mean.
Then you
doesn't
try to
really-
pick like the lesser of two evils.
It doesn't
But-
matter what you do. Yeah,
Yeah.
you go a little bit more direct approach there.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm not about to cause some shit, and it's too late. I got
Nope.
noticed, so
Holly gives 0 fucks.
yeah.
And I did that. I tried to make a deal with them, and it still ended up going badly, even when I made a deal.
Yeah. So and honestly, I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to make a deal with them and show them that I was in a position of weakness. Like these motherfuckers, they honestly need to respect,
Bigby, what is he
like, again, like that I'm not as vulnerable as they'd like to paint me, and they like I just didn't care for their arrogance.
Just get the fuck out of here and leave these people alone.
And then
Man.
some shit happens.
Yep, they back off pretty quickly.
What did I tell you? What did I say?
Ollie? Think you motherfuckers could come
Yeah.
here on-
Also, he's a lot more helpful in this situation with both arms. Just saying, I don't know if I can let you live that down.
Yeah, I know. It's.
Fucking freaks are
I think eventually we got along okay.
Handle this.
Eventually.
Yeah, let's
You'd think he'd grow it back or something.
Nah, nope. I'm pretty sure every time I saw him, like, it was just detached.
Yeah. So, this situation was fucked from the get-go.
Yeah, this was eventually gonna happen.
It's really
And-
weird
and
too
this
because
too.
it's very open-ended for, you know, how you can deal with it. So I mean, I knocked the shotgun out of his hand, and then I can go deal with his shotgun, but he just fucking will reach for it. Either
Anyways, yeah.
way, like some tweet'll get the fucking shotgun in their arms,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're
Everyone
left
takes
with
shotgun
this mess.
blasts. Yeah.
So it's I don't know. To me, it was definitely kind of a killer intro to.
I necessarily didn't like it because I did feel like they kind of put you in a situation where you're just gonna lose. You know, you didn't have a choice in the matter, and it made me kind of second guess everything I did or think about like I should start it over and see if I can do it differently or because it was right at the beginning. So I kept on thinking to myself, I'm just gonna reload it. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again. Just to see if I
That
can
was like your one
somehow
gamey
work it.
moment.
Yeah, which I ended up not doing really. But I had the intention to. Like I wanted to Mass Effect it, continuously try it over again until I got the results I wanted. Which in a game like this, you don't really have the time to do or really want to do, but I had the urge to.
There aren't very many nuances to really put into play until you get to the last two episodes. Even though fuck all really happens in episode 4, it still has an impact.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, this whole situation, I couldn't.
I kind of figured something was up,
Yeah, but I couldn't help but play along and be nice to her.
Mhm.
Kind of feel like I'm biting.
Yeah,
I'm playing into her game.
kind of going along with it. Hmm.
I'm Big B. This is Snow.
Yeah, seems a little too tame though.
Yeah.
I think I played it just by the book. I wasn't like mean to her, but I wasn't all that friendly either.
At home? Does she live here?
You mean my mom?
She ever
Yeah,
nightstand, levitate, turn
I try to be pretty cool
No, I would never.
about the situation, but
Mhm.
then at some point, I believe I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go take a look around. I
Uh-huh.
don't even ask her.
well, this has all been thoroughly enlightening. I'm still gonna
Yeah, it's like okay, enough of that.
step aside.
Start pushing little kids down and everything.
So I will say that for the sake of this games club, and it was the one nagging, like just ever so nagging curiosity. I played this one differently, aside from my like actual traditional playthrough for the games club, and this situation. I figured it'd have more of an impact just with the way it was like kind of addressed in the trial,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really.
So in your first playthrough, your initial playthrough, when you get to the trial, you didn't do anything with her possession, right?
No, I burned.
Oh, you
the
did.
fuck out.
You did the first time. Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
did too. And I feel like
Oh no.
so even when you don't burn it, she still takes the side of the crooked man.
In a sense, yeah, it's very
Yeah.
it's nuanced. I mean, even then, it's they're the same like when you kind of win over Gren and Holly just from your actions, it comes out in the trial. But Auntie Greenleaf is honestly kind of an asshole in that she's
Yeah.
ambiguous no matter how you treat her. I mean, she'll be ambiguous and very floundery in what she does, whether you show her mercy towards her tree or you fucking take it out. And I don't know. As shitty as it might sound, I just figured I'd get fucking more gratitude.
Yeah,
But
apparently
yeah,
not.
you'll see, because I believe you also chose to burn it. Am I right?
I did because there was that whole weakness of doing what Snow wanted. I necessarily didn't want to, but I figured if Snow's so adamant about burning it, then I guess it's something we have to do for the better of the entire town. But
Yeah, I kind of had that same mind frame, to be honest. Like, I don't know why. And normally,
it is one of those things where like you kind of want to take her word for it for what's better for the town, but there is going to be a moment where maybe she is wrong, and you kind of have to kind of decide
and in
on
this
your own.
situation, I honestly believe she was wrong.
Yeah.
She was mostly affected, and here we go. I mean, we see Crooked Man stuff, so that they've been alluding more and more to the Crooked Man in this episode.
I guess I never even put together the butcher thing until just now when I go back and allude to the butcher. I didn't even think that was a reference to what it ends up being. It's very literal. You think butcher's like a cool code name?
Nope, it's
not so
fucking
much.
Butcher Johan on the cut above.
Actual butcher.
Yeah, but there's some fucking trickery afoot.
Yep.
And
someone's
and the fact
whittling.
that I recognize that.
Yep. Whittling.
Could not leave that alone.
Mm.
So, you know, even then, I'm kind of curious what happens if, either way, you're gonna have to force out anti-Greenleaf, but
Yeah.
it's a little weird. I kind of wonder if there's any way to be a little bit more inconspicuous about it. Oh, and that's my
Hey.
phone.
Someone's calling to ask you about Wolf Among Us.
That's right. Oh, look, I'm just gonna have to check this out. I'm sorry.
Right. Like, nope. And Snow's like, nope. Fuck
and
you.
like the fact that there's so much duress, I'm like,
And then I wonder too, like, is that skull any kind of reference to like Jersey Devil?
I
So I know
don't
that's
know.
kinda-
I kind of thought the same thing myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is very strangely placed there. At this point, though, when Bigby is reasonably pissed, especially when, you know, he himself was tricked, I was right there with him. It made burning her fucking tree.
Yeah. He wants no tomfoolery.
No,
He-
I
he's
I
totally not
chose
about-
that right there. No fucking bullshit. No non sequiturs. Like, and you know, I don't feel like this was the gingerly approach.
Damn, and she's pissed too.
Oh, dude, yeah, she's.
Well, I think Snow has like just an agenda against glamours in general, just because of what had happened with someone trying to use a glamour to be as her. I think that's kind of like she has that sense of she was, you know, almost. I don't know what the word is, you know, like just that sense of like betrayal or like mistrust, and that someone's using her likeness. You know, I think that's something she has against glamours. Even doesn't even matter if it's supposed to be good for people that have to pay a bunch of money for actual glamours and they don't want to go to the farm. Like she's got personal.
Yeah,
beef
it definitely
against it, too.
shatters her view on it because she.
Yeah.
I don't think she was really like she's really processed that someone that Fables would actually be capable of doing something like this.
Taking her likeness and yeah.
And see, God, this fucking sense of arrogance.
Mhm.
It really pushes my threshold to like try to be the good cop here. And you know, it's kind of gotten to the point where, like, you know, there are times as Wolf, you know, fucking I kind of gotta assert my role.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here I knew that Snow wasn't as arduous as she was, like, you know, preaching off to be, and this was more of a personal matter for her.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, she really didn't help, and you know, what you know also throws me off too is, like, in my playthrough I had to send Toad to the farm. I think regardless Toad has to go to the farm.
I think he goes, yeah.
So
Because he never even tried to get a glamour. Like he told him, even when you're nice about it, he never gets a glamour.
yeah. So, and I always thought, because Bigby brought up this point that I never really considered.
She's a witch. Can't she just work for us? That way she'd be official.
You know, but like, and then like I never processed that before. I was too pissed. But like I said, I felt like we can go in this route.
At least you try to give her a note.
You put her on the 13th floor.
Well, and which is kind of crazy because you eventually, like, if you do choose to incarcerate Crooked Man, then that is exactly what happens. She becomes basically like on their payroll. Like her job is to kind of keep him, you know, incarcerated. Like she watches over him. So you eventually do give her that anyways. It's just, you know, she wouldn't take it the first time because she felt like she had a choice. Eventually, you know, if you burn the tree, she doesn't have a choice. So I wonder if you, in the last part, chose to keep the tree safe and gave him the, you know, the incarceration. I wonder if that would change anything with her or not.
I don't think it's anything like insanely significant.
Mm-hmm.
And right here, that like normally I would have burned it. And man, if you burn it, God, she makes you feel like an asshole.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
horrible fucking monsters.
Yeah.
But right here, we have a glamour shortage. I figured, like, you'd think that would kind of play and you get to keep your fucking tree.
You would think that she would look at at that as a positive, but
Yeah, but right
yeah.
there, just
Oh
like
man,
there's
she's
no
pissed. Yep.
and just like no gratitude.
Nope.
What? Are moving trucks gonna show up here or something? Something like that.
Hmm.
It's I almost
Nope.
it's weird
Got-
because I thought
almost
this
wanna-
was
almost
like
wanna go
a
back.
really big decision, and
Yeah.
no, I'm glad I burned that goddamn tree.
Yeah.
Because again, like in the long run, like we can always find resources for glamours or whatnot. It's all about asserting your image. So this is a particularly big scene.
Yep. Crane flipping out.
Well, yeah, we caught Crane. Crane basically tried to use the Ring of Dispel, which had no power. And we both came to the conclusion, like, this dude's no killer. But he still got to be charged for, like, his aiding and assistance to the Crooked Man. Because the Crooked Man wouldn't have even, like, climbed up the social hierarchy in Fabletown had it not been for his connection to
With
Ichabod.
Crane.
So
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
we're talking about killers. This is potentially one right here.
Yeah,
this is a pretty big reveal, and this is actually like my favorite character of the entire series. I don't know what it was. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. This reveal, and then this person being kind of like a major enemy. Really thought she was the only enemy. I didn't know that there was going to be someone else even behind the scenes of that. I thought that this was it, and I personally thought it was an awesome villain to reveal.
well, right, and because the one thing that like I've noticed really with Fables is all the villains, like all of the major villains, without really spoiling any details, they're all characters who have never played any villainous role. I mean, even the one that you do know about, Prince Charming. I mean, like he's a dick. He's not a villain, but he's a horrible person. So, like Bill Willingham loves to basically make villains out of characters you had never seen to play the role, and I was really surprised by this because, like, fucking who would ever think Bloody Mary's anything? I love that. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Fucking. I love that she just punches him.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah, but Bloody Mary, by every definition of the word, is totally she a bad bitch. She's not
Yep. Oh,
good
yeah,
by
she is.
any means.
My nickname. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I wish I actually knew the fable though. I don't know Bloody Mary, but I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool interpretation. That's for sure.
Wait, you've never heard of Bloody Mary outside of
think
Wolf
so.
Among Us?
Not really. No.
Yeah, you say your name 5 times in the mirror, and it's supposed to summon her, and you risk getting killed by her. That's a
So how
real
does she-
thing.
And that sounds pretty villainous. I'd say it doesn't
Yeah,
sound like it's a
that's what I'm
happy
saying.
fable.
This is the
Yeah.
first time I've seen like
Like, it actually
a
is a villain.
fable play the role of a villain in which
Mhm.
they're naturally adept to that image.
Mm,
Like there's
okay.
two characters in particular that are like huge villains in the Fable storyline. Like one especially, he's like the biggest villain of the storyline, and you would never fucking think it's him. And he's actually it's actually really creepy just how diabolical that villain is.
Mm.
So, yeah, and even then the Tweedles, like, sure they're goons or whatnot, but they're like, I don't know, it's weird how they play off of like a lot of the characters. Like even in like I would expect like Ichabod to be like this craven coward that would like fucking abuse his power to personally
run away,
further his own
yeah.
agenda.
Mhm.
Like that's something I'd figure.
Bigby just taking shots, man. Doesn't even care.
Oh yeah, no, he's just walking in there fucking Terminator style.
Same with Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary's just hanging out. Like she doesn't care either.
Yeah,
She's
and
very
it's weird
nonchalant.
too because like I don't know how much at this point. This is us really testing Bigby, and funny enough, he hasn't transformed to what we've seen. Well, actually, no, we haven't seen him really.
Not this much.
Not
no.
this. Yeah, no, this is the extent up until we get him here, and this is definitely the most we've seen him change.
Yep.
And even the Tweedles are just like, fuck.
Oh.
And he's eaten, no exaggeration, he's eaten about 8 full rounds. So,
Oh, you went right after one of them. I used the environmental attacks. But no, you went straight to the jugular.
I didn't really know how exactly that would work, but man, just fuck it. Let's just
Ooh,
mash
God.
on him a little bit.
Yep. That dude's done.
Oh, dude. And see, you done fucked up, dude. And then right here is where you're given, well, no, oh, I actually really love this.
Hmm.
This is when you understand that you're not dealing with some sort of amateur, the way she just steps aside with absolutely no remorse.
Yeah, I killed him.
I don't know why, I just didn't see any benefit of it.
It flipped out Snow when I did it, though. Snow got, like, really fucking scared when I killed him. I wonder how she reacts with
she
this.
gets scared regardless, or even in.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she flipped out pretty hard when I killed him. So, I don't know, maybe it was just a personal thing. Oh, then, yep.
And then, like, I love the tension here. Like, it really fucks with you on just exactly how you get out of this. Oh, and dude, and if anything, too, my show of mercy does not help the situation with fucking Bloody Mary as far as her intimidation. Yeah, and this fucking threw me off. I'm just like, what the fuck? It's got the Woodsman goddamn X. And Telltale's been known to like kind of fuck with players.
Yeah,
when they
to
pull
me, you
this
think
shit.
something's happening. I know, I hate that. It's like,
'Cause
come on, man, I'm trying. Damn it, I'm trying.
And like, here's where I'm just like, oh, dude. Like, I got it. I'm good. And then, what the fuck?
And ooh.
Getting her golf swing ready.
Just in the nick of time.
Yeah, and even then, like,
Snow gives
annoyed,
them up.
but like, again, I'm playing to the role of like Big Me's like absolute like incorrigible affection for her. So, like later on after this, for example, like when Colin, which surprisingly I didn't expect Colin to defend me so much. But there's a chance where you can just fucking blame Snow for everything going to hell, and I couldn't find it in me. In fact, I showed her gratitude. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I will say that there's one aspect of the game that kind of just made me feel crappy about like all the concentrated efforts I try to basically win like Snow's respect and possibly her affection, is that like in the end of it, no matter what, she's still kind of an ice queen towards you.
Yep, and she'll know that. She'll know that you're still a monster. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, it's hard for her to look past that, I think, after this.
And I guess for canon's sakes and for continuity, I understand, but still I kind of want to have a little bit more fun. And yeah, fuck. It's so hard to look at.
Whipped his ass.
Yeah, it's really hard to see Big B like
Just get totally.
about
Oh
like
yeah,
this.
agreed.
It's very like it's incredibly rare, and even then, like even within the game, he's never really been like thoroughly bested like this. But what's funny is while you say like the Bloody Mary fight at the very end being your favorite, which I totally understand. And what's funny too, I think that was the biggest cock tease, because at any point that Bigby does go wolf within the comics, I mean, he goes straight to that form. There's no in-between Wolfman shit, which I feel like this was Telltale's like way to really tease that whole scenario. It was just kind of funny that like he had an in-between stage. So we're looking at the start of episode 4. This is after Swinehart patched me up and also gave warning that, if I'm in a hardcore scuffle again, like I will be losing my life, especially anything that involves Silver. And then I completely forgot that Narissa kind of sees you near the end of that from the pudding and pie. But she comes and visits again, and this is where you get more detail on the fucking ribbons.
Not many people smoke those.
So, did you notice that? You know how it slowed down right there on her cigarette brand?
I did not know.
But you notice how in this playthrough, I mean,
So what is it?
it's slowed down on her cigarette brand. That's the same cigarette brand that Face smokes. So that's
Interesting.
another-
So they're throwing all these clues. I just didn't
Oh,
even
they're
pick up
throwing a
on it at
bunch
all.
of clues.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on any of that.
So that's
Plus,
still-
when you offer Faith a smoke at the end of the woodsman situation, she also makes us. Well, everybody makes a comment towards Huff and Puffs. Everybody always says like,
Yeah, they're terrible cigarettes. Hmm.
yeah. But again, as I mentioned, I mean, Bigby never really smokes them to enjoy them. He just smokes them for sanity's sake.
Yeah.
You found a way to tell me.
Huh, it's
So-
interesting. I just thought he drank and smoked just because, that's just what they did. It's kind of interesting. to
Yeah,
think
he
that
didn't.
is
He didn't
because
really
tells
use it
everything.
like a vice. He used
Mhm.
it more or less as
Go ahead.
something to hold back his senses in order to keep him sane.
Might work.
You're here because the crooked man just sent Crane to the
Hmm.
bottom of my list of worries.
Yeah, so this was a really delicate situation too, because again, I didn't want to do anything to jeopardize
If I could answer
any
this,
of the
I
aloof
wouldn't have
hints that she could give me,
Yeah.
but I wanted to get as much information as I could. So, like this, to me, this situation is actually really stressful because I didn't know if this was a bridge I could burn.
through life on our own,
Mm-hmm.
grasping and fumbling in the dark.
But I also
I
I couldn't help but being
friends.
really direct.
Find my way.
Just because at this point I really feel like I've earned
They're gone.
her trust. I mean, we're 4 episodes in. She's seen basically how I go about doing things.
Trying to say something about Faith and Lily.
And again,
Is friends
I'm trying to go around like basically
I
get her to answer in a beat around way, beat around the bush.
So I hope you're looking after yours.
Yeah. She is dropping some hints there,
Are you?
but she can't say anything specifically.
Look around you.
Who are you talking about? Are my friends in danger?
Whoops.
And see, I couldn't help but get a little bit more direct.
I'm sorry. I thought I could do this
So now, didn't even like the mirror say the same thing though?
to help, but
The mirror also said that its lips were sealed, right? When it got to a certain situation or certain scenario.
Well, right, because it has to. Basically, it's weird, but they explain it
I'm
by extension.
sorry if I
Like, even though the mirror knows, by extension, the mirror is also, because it automatically gets to know because it's all knowing. I believe it's also victim to any consequence for breaking it. So it's really weird.
It's not how it looks that concerns me.
And this is where I
It does.
piece it together.
That's why you can't tell me anything.
All the fucking
Mhm.
girls have that ribbon around their neck. So at that point, I'm like, it's not about
I
outfits.
don't think I even put that together. It's interesting though.
And you know,
Does she eventually just blur it out though if you don't pick up on that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, at some point, this is where like, and I don't just try to be an asshole about it, but I'm like, can't we just take the ribbon off and then fucking bam,
What?
You can't.
Hmm.
dramatic. So
Very dramatic.
and, you know,
You can't.
you can totally be an insensitive prick about this, which I try not to be.
Not gonna do anything.
I think I could have been a little bit more of it because before just going straight to remove ribbon, I went, couldn't we just go and take it off while making an approach towards her?
Okay. I get it.
Hmm.
So the ribbons.
No, I never got to this part, so I didn't know this until I talked to the people at the Pudding and Pie later on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And, you know, again, I wanted to let her know that she was invaluable to me and comfort her. This was kind of an awkward situation, though, because, again, and we're not really showing that within this video, but Snow kind of displayed some noticeable signs of
She's-
jealousy.
Yep.
She
It's the
wasn't
truth.
exactly too happy.
trouble.
I won't tell anyone.
And, you know, normally, again, as sheriff, there are channels and there are accesses that I need to use to operate on my own. So Snow doesn't really need to know the details of her visit.
Please excuse us.
One minute.
Yeah, it's weird though. Like in this particular scene,
Called the office just now. They said
when she hears about Beauty and Beast, she
He's
immediately
shocked.
about crying.
she's like,
Yeah.
"I'm piecing the fuck out."
Like, no, overstated my
In
welcome.
this particular situation too,
Thank you.
the way she emphasizes, "I don't think you'll be wasting your time."
Yeah, wink, wink. And fade to black.
Well, now we're moving along within the woodlands, and
Mm-hmm.
we're talking to Beauty and Beast, and in here they basically divulge details that they are much more in the know about the Crooked Man dealings than they initially let on. I mean, that's Beauty's working off a loan from one of his dealings, and also working at the Open Arms Motel, and Beast is essentially delivering a lot of stuff in between their deals over at the Cut Above, even mentioning that he's already seen. In fact, he was hired and picked up by Mary herself. So here in this situation, I don't know, what did you choose to go to first?
I actually went Lucky Pond first. Yep.
Yeah,
Same thing. Yep.
I felt like, if anything, I don't know what it was, but it was just the way it was presented to me. I felt like there was something at the Lucky Pond they didn't want me to see, and that the butcher shop wasn't going to be as fruitful.
Yeah, nothing's gonna probably happen until you get there. Is the way I looked at it. I feel like if you go to the butcher shop first, it gives someone or some people time to get to the pawn shop, before you have a chance to. But it just felt like if you go to the butcher shop later, like nothing's gonna happen until you kind of go start a scene.
I love this too, that they're basically alluding to, you want me to fucking kill him.
You're asking me to kill him, aren't you? Is that what you think I do?
Interesting. And they're talking about the Crooked Man with this.
Yes.
It is
They're
kind of
basically
interesting
kind of
because
saying, I'm sure there's
Yeah.
something you can do to help us out.
now that I think
So-
about it, I'm looking at this and I remember like when I got to that point, like I told him I'd help him.
You, that might just
Oh no, I
So
I had
who
to
knows
remind
if I
them that
actually
I'm
really did or
sheriff.
not.
That's not what I
Yeah.
do.
Big B.
Yeah.
sure you'll do the right thing.
Yeah.
I feel like you get a little bit more cold-hearted as you progress and play through. I feel like I was kind of the opposite. Like I got more. I don't know. Although I did kill people and rip off arms, I don't know. Like I guess I just picked and choose when I was going to be, complete asshole.
Well, see, yeah, the only death that I actually went all the way through, and we'll get to that. But I mean, there's only two murders that you can possibly commit. So, fucking. But yeah, you're right. At some point, and especially within my decisions, because I'm investing myself, my threshold for patience and basically dealing with everything is getting lowered, and especially with Toad. I tried to be as nice as I could with Toad, but at some point I really feel like he wasn't taking me seriously.
Why is it so hard to just follow
Yeah. Like why are you never glamored?
Mm-hmm.
It is
fact
true.
that-
He never does. He never actually takes he doesn't heed your warnings, no matter how many chances you give him. Like he just will not. He will not do it.
And even then, I don't buy that he's trying to sell the coat to get money for a glamour.
See, that's weird. I found that coat though. This never happened in my playthrough.
Jesus Christ, this fucking phone.
Yeah, no, in my playthrough, when you go to his apartment, I found it in the chimney. They were hiding it. So he never tries selling it. Did you not find it in the chimney when you did?
I did find it, but I left it in his care.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he tried selling it. Maybe he did. I don't remember this scene though.
And see,
Huh.
that's also weird. It's the only time they mention Cinderella, is in this scene.
Nope. I don't think I ever saw this. Yeah, no, I don't think I got any of this.
Set their own prices.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And again, I'm just trying to let him know what's up.
Yeah, try to give him an out.
And he's just being a fucking dick about it.
Yeah, well, he's got it coming then. No, I was nice to him too. Like I apologized when I fucked up his car. I was nice to his son. But Nope. He
Well,
don't care.
yeah, and then at that point, I'm just like, well, I'm always good to TJ, but like at this point, he's also going on about the crooked man from here, and I feel like I don't know if I should indulge him or grill him, but I played off of it,
I didn't really think
and
First, tell me, how does it work?
yeah, and at some point, I kind of feel like I should have gone in a different direction because Jack's
Yeah.
actually smarter than he looks.
Yeah, they play him off as kind of a buffoon in the game.
Well, they always play him off like he's kind of. I mean, he is. It's just weird. He's always sharper than he looks, especially when he needs to be.
Yeah, like he just plays it. Maybe it's on purpose. He's playing it off like he
Yeah,
doesn't know
like
anything.
he's. It's weird. He's an idiot savant when it comes to fucking con artists.
glamour toad.
Yeah, if you're at the pawn shop right now, I think honestly when I got here, I just walked in, and I think that
Yeah, and
Man,
at this
I
point,
didn't
I'm
see
just
any of
like,
this.
I didn't care for her and for him just fucking
nope, had your
leaving
chance.
the
Sorry.
coat.
Yeah, I think I honestly came in and I just like started approaching the back of the room, and then I was kind of confronted by some, was it the Jersey Devil? I think's here
Yeah,
at this point. Yeah,
I love this too. This
deuces.
this toad flip off.
Uh-huh.
I didn't feel like flipping off, but I wanted to threaten him with a farm.
Yeah,
Really grows on
not so
Yeah,
much.
and in here, my least favorite character. Here
Mhm.
we are again.
you. It's something stable. Between more
Huh.
entrepreneurial bouts.
And
And before you ask, I've never seen a crooked man in here.
yeah, and it's weird too because Jack can actually hold his own against Bigby for the most part, and it's really weird like when he gets intimidated, when he doesn't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a threat at all in the game whatsoever.
yeah, he's definitely much more cravenly,
Mm-hmm.
and
Why you came down here?
man, from here too, like again,
Fine.
I don't
Go away,
care for his fucking misdirections.
'cause I'm not a mind
Tell me about these loans.
I wonder
There.
if I wonder if the reason why I didn't see him here was because I saw him in
People get desperate.
the whose apartment, the
Along with you,
Crane's apartment.
the crooked
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Like I just don't, I didn't.
Yeah,
see
I didn't
any
even
of
know he
this.
was at Crane's apartment.
Yeah,
So
he
you didn't
was,
get
so-
him in your pawn shop at all?
I don't think so. I don't think I saw any of this. I think it might have been because I caught him at Crane's apartment trying to, take stuff.
interest.
Yeah, because I don't remember any of this. So it's really weird to see this all now. I'm trying to like place it, and I keep on thinking to myself like maybe I'm just forgetting it, but I literally don't think I ever saw this. I just don't know if maybe it's because I did see him back then or not. Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, I gotta start closing up shop.
Yeah, and
Close. It's the middle of
the fact that the fact that he knows something,
And he's ready to
and he's
bail.
just trying
He's
to
like,
skip out.
I gotta
is
get out of
what's
here.
really
Can't you just
hmm
like getting under my skin here.
good for me if he sees your face?
So I again I'm gonna put him in his place here,
Jack. Maybe the axe is back here.
It's not
and
Bad enough in the woodsman's hand.
yeah, I'm trying to basically. The game doesn't give you a whole lot to intimidate him here. You kind of had more to work with. I mean, he is thoroughly intimidated though, but you kind of had more to work with back at the bar.
Jersey Devil isn't here to answer my questions.
So
Also means he isn't here to get in my way.
you're given free reign to kind of explore the pawn shop, and it's weird that I think this particular section has a lot of Easter eggs, which normally I would indulge. In fact, I'd love to hear your guys' favorite Easter egg personally. I
See,
think
I
they
look
had
at a
case
lot of stuff.
glasses, but reading over here and then checking that sign and then seeing fucking Jack squirm away in the background.
like I gotta go,
Oh,
Lying piece of shit, Jack.
man.
at this point,
that wasn't
oof.
Right here all along.
Now, in here, I could, like I said, I don't know if it's just Jack that brings it out of me, but if it gave me an option to hit him,
I don't want
You were gonna do it.
leave me.
Yeah.
and even when you do work,
Ow, but you know what? It's funny is I could have punched him right there and then, but oof,
Waited.
I didn't.
Did so well, I didn't even cut you off, but like you said, there were some Easter eggs in this part of it. Did you get a chance to actually see what some of those were? Or no.
Yeah, like honestly, I will say that the Easter eggs
With me.
are mostly for people familiar with the comic books,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it kind of alludes to that.
which is cool. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it more or less is definitely be an appropriate
I'm just part-time.
venue to kind of show that off.
The one who's into this stuff. He's one of the critical
Man,
bands born.
looking back at it, I really thought I hit him.
Great if he was
I just want to hit him. Dude, he.
Wish I could have.
Oh, I wish I could have just hit him. I don't know why I was nice to him. So we're hearing Jersey basically come in, and Jersey's also accompanied by Woodsman, who's also accusing him of having the axe. And this situation kind of threw me off.
Why'd you pawn it in the first fucking place, huh? I didn't pawn it.
I mean,
It was
he,
stolen from my apartment.
his glamour is so deceptive.
Yeah.
Of course, it makes him look really
Skeezy.
skeezy, of course, but it
Yeah.
doesn't make him look like a threat.
No, no. He looks like Paul Giamatti. Like, it's like, man, this guy's not scary at all.
Yeah, but you know, I have to say that this is definitely one of my favorite fights, if not my favorite fight within the entire game.
I don't know, man. I didn't really think it was all that impactful, but I guess maybe it's just the way that you kind of had, you know, the help with Woodsman initially.
I think just because he has also that natural like, fuck you, I don't have any sort of patience or mercy for you.
Yeah, I was like,
in
oh,
his-
this is gonna
in
be
his
fun.
comments.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that, again, he's talking shit about me like I'm not even there to Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. It got under my skin. Just hearing him. Like, the moment I had an opportunity to fucking say something, I was quick to say it.
Fuck you, bitch.
let you two, you know.
I wouldn't exactly.
Oh, no, not so much. And there
No.
he goes. Bye, Jack.
Yeah, and there he goes, sneaking off. I didn't want to put fuck you, Jersey, because that would acknowledge that he had a point. I wanted to fucking dismantle his point.
You,
but
you would
Jack
think
is-
you would think maybe people from Jersey would get upset. I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom, man, just like nope. Go at it. I would have just waited. Honestly, I wouldn't even made a choice. Just gonna let him keep on going.
You know, I thought about that, but I felt like
Mhm.
it was almost like a matter of time because they also do stress time here,
Mm. Yeah.
and
You do not want to go.
yeah, and again, I'm trying my hardest
Mhm.
to still kind of be good cop, but then, oh, it's all out the window now.
You lil shit.
Hey, dude, I am the fucking big bad wolf, dude.
Do you know who I am?
And here we go. I knew what I was doing
Oof.
here. I knew exactly what I was doing here.
Oh damn, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And at this point, I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh
like-
no.
I can only like see. This is what I mean. Like, I wonder if I interrogated him instead of Tweedle, if he would have like just really
Been on
had
your
like,
side. I think it would have made it a little bit more trouble for you.
fucking just punt that motherfucker.
Yep. And nice little
Yeah.
surprise.
Oh, jeez, these comments too. He makes it so
Mhm.
easy to not.
To
fucking
not,
like
yeah,
it.
to want to just go off on him. Boom. Nice.
Oh, dude, it's satisfying. I don't know why, but it like this is
Just
one of
to
my
beat
favorite
on him?
fights because it's really, really satisfying. Just fucking like basically taking him down to size because he's
Mhm.
definitely the most arrogant
Yeah.
between like the Fable fights. See, god damn it, this fucking registry.
Mm-hmm.
It's only with the analog though.
Yeah, with the left
With
and
the
right
button
stuff.
presses, there's only one particular moment actually where I felt like no matter what I did, button wise, and I don't know if it was intentional. I'm actually kind of curious to ask you during the Mary fight, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Where it didn't feel like I did a whole lot of good initially like I wanted to.
There was some prompts that went pretty quick. It was hard
Yeah,
to catch.
so
like especially
fucking-
when you're like kind of running along the rails and stuff like that,
Yes.
and she's like zipping around you.
Were you
Yeah,
able to get
that-
any of those to work?
I think I may have caught her one time, but it feels like every other time she was just too quick. I think that was probably intentional. you know, give you like a split second to see if you could catch it or not. But I didn't think you were ever really meant to, honestly.
I felt
Ooh,
like
went
using
for
the
the
headless
statue.
horseman,
Nice.
but the fact that it was the headless horseman statue.
I love that there's also the anvil. Like that's just pretty
Yeah,
classic.
there's some sort of like poetic justice in it, considering that they like fucking had their way with Crane. So
Nice.
yeah, and see, I don't know how cooperative Woodsman was with you, the way he gives you that nod.
Like, all right.
Yeah, at that point, I'm just like, all right, I'm in a nice little position here.
You can't find a crooked man. No one can.
I love that he still has that shitty like Hoboken Jersey accent, even in his monster form.
Roots behind the sun. In the
Yeah. It's hard to break that habit, I'm sure,
Yeah.
of being from Jersey.
the door to his house.
Well, see, and yeah, I don't know if he's like a second generation Fable or what. I'm looking at him. But it's weird because they do go into the fact that they're like their new Fables made within the Mundy world that didn't like.
Well, yeah, because Jersey Devil is a like a New Jersey like urban legend. So I think that's kind of what I think. Fables are like the original Fables are the ones from like the fairy tales, and then they take urban legends, and that's kind of like the ones created from the human world. I don't even know the comic, but that just to me kind of makes sense, you know, like a modern day fable.
Yeah, and here too, like he dropped like a power play comment where he mentions the fucking mirror's broken, and the episode really centers around you trying to get the mirror back in shape so you can find the crooked man. So, you know, it's not until later on when you visit the butchers that you can basically find that. But yeah, again, there's this sense of arrogance that like it's supposed to deter you in a bit. And yeah, you're right. At some point, I didn't feel like playing good cop completely was really going to help me get what I needed to get done.
Why just tell me this? Trying to rush
And yeah, and also it's pretty.
try to make a point.
Oh, dude.
Man, even in defeat, he's still a smartass.
It's not gonna help you when the time comes. And that time
And again, his doom talk too.
you want. Now get the fuck out of here.
So also another thing that really, really kind of like highlights one of my favorite moments, because again, we built an attachment to these characters. We're invested with what's going on, and I like to think that like for the most part, I haven't had to like get nasty unless I really had to get nasty. But like hearing this, I was really torn. I'm
Yeah.
just like, do I just leave this asshole?
He's asking for it, man.
But he's really pushing it. And the fact that like there's one comment that I just couldn't let go, and I'm really glad I heard it, because I needed, as you can tell, the fact that he told me I'm in his fucking town, because I don't know if, like, I've been playing like I'm the fucking sheriff, and I demand some goddamn respect, but I don't demand it out from fear. And even then, like, I'd like to think that I've been friendly with Woodsman throughout this total, adventure. But, like, oh.
Shitty brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just, like, the way he fucking just goes about saying
I love that.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's the relationship they have, I guess, now at this point.
I'm not gonna lie. I was having trouble deciding which one of you to hit with this thing.
Fucking drunk loser. But, like, it's nice, though, because I almost felt like we kind of got him a little bit of redemption. He does make a comment that actually, like, does make me feel for him, especially when I feel like I've earned his respect as the sheriff.
Get the fucker who did it.
When he basically, like it was almost like getting his blessing that he's accepted me in my role as sheriff, because he always mentions how he has a lot of trouble with it, even though, like, Fabletown Amnesty kind of like cleared us of all that. It's weird, but again, this is a prequel. you'd think that they're still pretty new into Fabletown's age, so like people are still living in the past.
I'll see you around, right?
Yeah, I felt like if I asked him where he was going next, that we're like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, I know.
So I just
keeping tabs on him. Just let him go. Yeah. And then did you see? I remember seeing a lot of people online showing the picture of the guy that drives the taxi. A lot of people like putting him as a potential murderer. Like I remember like kind of reading into that kind of stuff when I was playing through the episodes, that they all thought it was a taxi driver that was, you know, the murderer, you know, and try to put all these parts and pieces together. He's always the one driving the taxi when you do it, but that's not.
I can only
even,
assume that's just a technical oversight.
I was gonna say because it doesn't look like anyone that's familiar from the comics, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
this scene is a huge deal, and it's also I think it's definitely got one of the best scores musically, and like I don't know. This is the part where I teared up because like I had
guess,
no
like,
remorse.
Yeah, but like right before this, like as you're doing the car chase, do you automatically go to the put in pie, or do you have a chance to actually follow the crooked man?
No, so here's the thing. You do have the chance to follow the crooked man.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that, you don't even chase him. Mary puts you the fuck down and you're passed out on the street.
Oh,
and
okay.
then when you go to the pudding and pie, like Vivian's already dead.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, so
Oh wow.
because
Okay.
that's what my buddy told me when we were comparing playthroughs. And man, I would hate that because you would also have absolutely no
would have
context
no idea.
to the
No, 'cause
fucking ribbons.
I know, yeah, at all. Like I would have never known. That's
And even
crazy
then,
that they
you're saying you found out about the ribbons here. You didn't even
Here,
find out about
yeah.
the ribbons earlier
not
in the last
with Narissa,
episode.
no. So I would have never known anything about the ribbons. I would never put that together. That would be kind of horrible to not know what was going on with that.
Yeah, but you know, I couldn't like. Again, I was really disappointed when like I found out more. Like, because at first I thought she was a slave to the ribbon too. That's honestly what I initially thought. And then when he drops the tidbit that she's the original, the girl behind the ribbons, I'm like, you unbelievable bitch! Like, you played like I hated it. She played like she was so noble in just in her role, in like how much she played off like she was a den mother to the girl.
Yeah.
Georgie's like wrath. So
But she ended up being like the what's the name of the lady that runs like the madam? Yeah, it's a madam. She ended up being just the madam the whole time. Really, it seems like.
yeah, and it really, like, I don't know. I was genuinely upset. Like, this is definitely the most emotional part of the entire like season, especially like again, like I'm really just trying to get more information. Oh, cause like I have no remorse for Georgie. Honestly, if I were to play through it one more time, I really would love to let him die. It's because I feel like fucking just killing him gave an easy way out. Even though you don't necessarily give him a mercy killing, you do kill him painfully.
Yeah, it doesn't last too long, but
Yeah, but still, like, again, because I'm along that same line of reasoning, and then kill her. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
It was them or Vivian. So you tell me, if Free Lily meant she had to die.
That's why I was like, wait, she's involved? No, bullshit. Like, no,
Well,
she is.
The fact that she was responding and going, Georgie, don't. I had to indulge.
I'm sure you've heard the stories. Couldn't take it off. Couldn't talk about it. She used her little purple ribbon to make more.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just like, I really felt betrayed, because I thought, like, if anything, like I didn't even consider her a potential suspect. I thought she was just another Georgie's victims that like was enslaved. And then like her speech, especially when like right here, I just, oh man, I was like holding back. I'm like, fuck, like I legitimately felt a sense of betrayal, but hearing this is what really teared me up. Like she really was like she was a deluded victim, but like I still like felt sympathy for her after all.
I guess it makes sense though. Like this entire thing of them coming from their homeland, you know, into the human world, trying to make it a home. They have the best of intentions initially, but it all goes bad. You know, just that's what the town does to them. You know, they have the best of intentions, but eventually it turns them bad, and just things go to shit.
Well, just like a lot of like mortal lifestyles, like the mundane lifestyles of like technology and fucking like even modern conveniences like driving and whatnot and drugs. And I like that they explore that too with,
and then
Lily.
And then right here, you know, them paying you into a corner again. No easy way out. No,
but like, oh my
no good
God,
thing will happen.
It's my life.
I you know, at this point, I was just like, Jesus, no, like,
I'm sick of
and like,
They can just
I feel like Bigby should, like, there should have been a little bit more, like, he should have been a little bit more clueful to this, because she already reached for a ribbon once. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And she's creating distance. Yep.
Yeah.
to Faith and Lily, to all of them.
And even then, like, I almost feel sympathetic to Georgie, even because you find out that he actually cares about Vivian, unlike the other girls.
And who's Gwen?
What I've done to them.
She mentioned Hans. We know Hans, but who's Gwen?
I want Gwen's like on one of the posters.
Okay.
I can't pretend.
Oh man.
This
Damn.
right here, and this is so brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Just like that.
yeah, and like I said, I can't. I couldn't help because again I was just so surprised. I fuck, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine, like I said, not getting any of this exposition and just walking in on like
walking into them both
and
dead
next to her, because
Yeah, and you probably put the pieces together. Oh, he killed her too.
exactly,
You know, that's what you would probably assume.
not this.
Mm-hmm.
Like he genuinely, like, I think this is the most
great.
remorseful he's ever like been.
Yeah, it's just insane to know that like an entire part of that could be just completely blocked off from your knowledge altogether. It's crazy. And then, kind of getting what he deserved, but in the end, I don't know if he really. I mean, he was a shitty person, but
No, yeah, I have no, but and it's weird too. Like the Crooked Man is still on my agenda, but like the game has a way of kind of making you forget about Georgie if you get so wrapped up with the Crooked Man. And when I got the confirmation that my suspicion throughout the entire game that it was fucking him, I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that he came to justice too. Still really tempted.
So I mean, but he admits. Does he admit to just like taking off their ribbons? Then is all he really did.
He doesn't admit to taking off their ribbons, but I can only assume that's how he killed them because, like I said, they're all decapitated.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know why. Like, you're wanting to be a little bit more noble than you have to, but like, you know, at this point, I figured
I killed him.
And you can leave him to die, and I hear that it actually kind of drags on a little bit, and I was really tempted to, but I took some enjoyment out of it. You'd think he'd like slit his throat or something? No,
Right in the area. Like just let's make it a little bit worse for you.
Fucking guts. Like I'm like, good. I'm glad I was able to make it painful. But even in that look on Bigby's face right there when he kind of sees like the fucking scene, I don't know if that's like the universal look, but like there's, I don't know, there's nothing there. It doesn't feel like you really accomplished a whole lot here.
No, but like I said, that was the first I had known of any of that. So for me, that was pretty like that was a big part of the story for me that I got.
Oh yeah,
you know?
No man,
and just crazy to think that none of that may have even been possible to see if you had played it a different way.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking like if the ribbons are a 110% like complete, they have the potential to be a complete
Optional.
mystery.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, I picked up on it Just there's just
Because they'll still give you the closure that Georgie was responsible for their deaths. You know, and then you come in, you see, okay, he killed her too, like, and that's why it did it. And then you just said, okay, well, that's done now. I know who did it, and he's done. You know, move on. You know, but just to know that whole separate storyline that goes along with it, it's just kind of crazy that was a part of it.
Yeah, in this situation too, and it was great too because honestly, like I said, the whole werewolf man, if anything, it's always shown as a prelude to this, which is the real transformation of Bigby.
Mm-hmm.
I particularly enjoyed this part because, like, you know, forgive me for saying it, and again, I always looked at it considering it's a prequel. We don't know how rookie he may or may not be, but like, if there's two things that I can walk away with Wolf Among Us, other than the fact that like they were a little inconsistent with Snow, and then they make her the Ice Queen that she is at the very end. It's that like I felt a little bit more helpless than I wanted to with Bigby. I just meant like in the confrontational sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Normally, I'd command a bit more intimidation, and everybody saw fit to fuck with me. But at the same time, you know, I think that's kind of like the trappings of the game. Like, it doesn't make much of a game, you know, so you don't get challenged. I just felt everybody challenged me.
Everyone kind of pushed it.
Oh yeah, like hell, like even Jack does so out of idiocy, but like the fact that even he was kind of direct with it, like almost also kind of threw me off. Also, so these pictures I really want to highlight as well. These are pictures. These also allude to basically Faith not exactly being dead. Just because right there you see that they're tabs that, and also there it's evidence about like the Crooked Man's involvement. Because you got to think about it. Why are those pictures there?
Mm-hmm.
What business would they have being there in a Crooked Man business if Georgie were to act all on his own? It made me really angry that those pictures weren't brought up at all in the trial. But at that point, like, even in the end when like there's that kind of doubt that's put in the situation with Narissa like fabricating her testimony, like I still know that the Crooked Man was behind it. He's not an innocent character by any means, and those pictures there again also, but who knows, were they planted there by Narissa?
Yeah, maybe to orchestrate it.
It's about time you showed up.
Yeah.
Oh man,
this particular, and you know, like at this point, like there's also kind of a sense of fear because like you walk in on their workbench that's filled with like silver bullet molds,
and that's all it takes too. Like one more shot with that and you're done.
Yeah. So I had like this insane apprehension, but like, you know, I've already gotten this far.
I hit her. Yeah, I took a swing at her.
Oh, so did it connect?
No. She dodged like, oh, like something about like me not fighting fair, you know, hitting on someone when they're turned around.
Oh, fuck that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she dodges this one too.
Uh-huh.
I just figured she would just.
Is that the best you can do?
And then, I really wanted to make her hit herself.
Yeah, haha, dumbass.
Yeah, so like I said, this fight was really cool for like the treat that it gave in regards to Bigby, but like the lead up to it was so bloated, and like I hated those fast prompts. Like it built tension, but at the same time, I'm just like, it almost threw me in a sense. I'm like, is this the fight where I'm gonna see a fail safe? Like, because it's weird. Like I said, you don't really see fail states. Like.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if the game gave me room enough to really fuck up that badly. So
yeah, usually the action was fairly quick. Like with the exception of like the Jersey Devil fight, you know, this and maybe I guess the fight initially with the Woodsman, like they didn't last very long. Like there was a couple like little prompts here and there, and that was it. This one actually lasted quite a bit longer. I don't know. I guess for me it was cool because as I go into this fight, I didn't know what his actual transformation would eventually become. So when I knew that last time he had transformed and, Bloody Mary pretty much destroyed him, without even really trying, I was like, this is like a fight I don't think I can win. Especially when you see her ability to kind of like transform into like a shit ton of Bloody Marys. I was like, well, this is gonna be fucked. And then you realize that he's got a transformation. He's got another thing up his sleeve. That's what really kind of I thought that was like a badass moment because I didn't know it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
So yeah,
even then, it's weird.
For me,
He
it was
still
like,
holds it
oh
back.
shit.
Yeah, these fucking
Yeah.
prompts, man. At this point, it was kind of frustrating because I'm just like, this should have ended a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But
Then you
yeah,
see
then
what the
seeing her
actual
come out like
formula is.
this, I'm like, oh, okay, good. She's not fucking around. That's wonderful. But I have to say though, definitely great build up, and I'm not like we both discussed like a lot of the action moments of
Other
Telltale. They're
games.
not
Yeah.
they're not exactly very engaging, but
Mhm.
I don't know what it was. It was when it came to Wolf Among Us, it didn't bother me that much.
Nope. Same. I actually enjoyed it. I think because it was a little bit easier to prompt and it was a little more forgiving, it made it that much more enjoyable. Like it didn't feel like it was a chore when you had to do an action scene. Like I would usually hate doing those in a Telltale game. This I didn't actually mind. I would say I ever really looked forward to it, but I never minded it until this. Like this, I actually thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but like also like in the other one, the other major property that Telltale's done, this style of game, Walking Dead. I mean, any action sequences are all focused towards your survival, and like they have to come with a fail-safe because like every fuck up leads to a lethal bite. Here though, you're the big bad wolf. I mean, you can hold your own. So it almost it gives you more breathing room to fuck up, but sometimes it was a little frustrating because then I'm like, I don't feel that big and bad. Like, I'm gonna be honest, here I didn't feel too big and bad, but I was just like, where's big bad wolf? And then they were really good at teasing it, the build up.
They were. I agree. Yeah, especially not knowing and seeing how this oh man, you're just getting fucked up. There's no way. And then I think they all just kind of storm on him, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, they all.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even then, like,
Yeah.
I was doing pretty well with the prompts and holding my own. Like, I was doing a lot better than I was when I was just trying to find her and chase her down. But yeah, here I'm just fucking being overwhelmed and being stabbed like a motherfucker
Yeah,
too.
all kinds stabbed.
Yeah, but nope.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh cool, he's gonna throw him off, and I was like, oh shit.
And this is the true transformation of Big Bad Wolf, what he
Yeah.
always transforms into. And it was great too because like as I'm doing this, I'm just like, oh wow, he's being really wolf-like. I figured he'd be throwing around like the huff and puff power.
Yeah.
And then like that, of course, it made sense. I'm like, oh, of course they save that for the end.
For his final attack.
But even then, like, I was actually still kind of surprised because like he's insanely strong and powerful in this form. So to make the fight as long as they did with him in this is still it's pretty strange. And see, like, I don't know, but I do like the fact that, like I said, they really play on his and which they don't really do because you do know how like Bigby's able to be a human again, right?
No. What do you mean?
So when Snow White and King Cole appointed Bigby to be the sheriff, and they were kind of getting the rules and everything together, they stabbed him with a lycanthropy stained knife and basically gave him the powers of the werewolf.
So he was just a wolf from the
he was
the
always
beginning.
a wolf.
Like he was always a wolf.
He was
Okay.
never a man.
Oh. Okay.
That like what you're looking at was his
Always
his form. And like when he like from Red Riding Hood, that was his first like real big story. He was much smaller, and that's when he decided to lead his crimes. And then, from Three Little Pigs to Boy Who Cried Wolf to anything else that involved Gaffer Wolf. That's him. The same one.
Did he
Big
not
Bad
have
Wolf.
any kind of like when he was the wolf originally in the comic? Was he like he never had like he was a good or bad? Like he was always just a wolf.
Okay, so essentially he's the product of the Northwind, which gives him his huff and puff powers. So that's why he has him. And the Northwind is basically the wind god. And then there was the Mother Wolf, and the Winter Wolf, who was, at the time Bigby was insanely loyal to. And I don't want to spoil, like I said, a lot of that, but he was wolf by nature, but there's a lot of secrets behind just how strong Bigby is. It's almost got like kind of an ambiguous superhero nature to it, but it's really hard because he does have his limits, and I think The Wolf Among Us thoroughly showcased that he has his limits. I just feel like they did too good of a job. I'm like, okay, you guys, he is a fucking badass. Like, he shouldn't be getting this fucked up.
I think I prompted the R trigger right here. Like, as soon as it gave me the prompt, I did it.
No,
and
I waited because, again, I'm like, I wanted to play it cool, and I'm like, I didn't want to risk anything with the silver. So, yeah, and
he fires off a shot,
the game
but
can wildly also get different. Because if you kill him here, you basically take him back to the Witching Well and have to defend your actions, and then essentially defend why you shouldn't resign. It becomes like a completely different trial. It basically becomes your trial.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, this situation's really open to the whole thing because, from the perspective of the source material, even though Bigby was ruthless, he did try his hardest to exercise non-lethal approaches if he could. I mean, he didn't shy away from it as much as I did. For example, 2 out of 3 times he's gonna try being nice, but that third time he will fucking rip your head off. That's the way he is really in Fables. But no matter what, he respected the law. He respected, and not only that, even above all else, he always put Snow's word above and beyond. So it also didn't really feel like it would make sense to me, or I wouldn't really feel comfortable not taking him back for trial. You know what I mean? It's something, and as I mentioned, my biggest concern was establishing and asserting my role in the community. That, I wasn't a softie, but I wasn't a tyrant. I was a fucking sheriff to be reckoned with.
I just thought it was crazy that he was so willing to go. He said, as long as you meet my terms, I'll go freely. And I just this is too easy. Him actually giving himself up to go.
Well,
nope, it's way too easy.
Because he thinks he's a social engineer. This motherfucker.
He thinks that he could turn him if he just wanted to. He'd turn everyone against you.
And see, I love this question too because, like I said, it really echoed what I cared about Faith, and I don't think I shied away from that. But my role,
I said justice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fucking my role within this community to not have this shit happen. And then I oh fuck, dude. I hate his whole attitude towards this. Oh, he's dead. Well, there you go. You have your killer. Dude, fuck off. You really think I'm that stupid? And I love this. Bigby's just
yeah. And he could easily just been like, nope, we're done. I wonder if you have that option. Just say, okay, well, we're done here, and just leave. I guess it would probably eventually come down to you killing him regardless if you didn't take him in.
Yeah, I don't know if you're able to kind of turn over.
Yeah.
Oh, but see, and I hate that I agreed to his terms. No, I wanted to take him in.
What do you say?
Ooh, right here though.
Nope. I didn't even take I didn't take the gun. He eventually just gave it to me.
No, I took it.
Yeah. Oh, and you hit him too. Shit.
Yeah. Fuck.
Nice.
That. Fuck. Because I didn't want to be intimidated by this motherfucker. He was social engineer. Yeah, exactly. I love that look on his face. That it's the little moments like that, the moments of defeat, where I remind him that he's not above the law. Crooked, tall, lanky motherfucker.
You wear a turtleneck and a chain like that, man. You're fucking, you're big league.
Yeah, I know, but I love how lanky and awkward looking he is too. Like
Yeah.
he has the same kind of property. Like it's so weird because like
Is
him
there is there a story of the eye though? Like why it is the way it is? Is there a
yeah,
story behind that?
the Crooked Man is actually has multiple stories. It's really weird that he wasn't already a character even mentioned in the comics. Like Telltale like got really lucky being able to make him like the main villain of this season. And even then still like incorporate Bluebeard and whatnot. It's just like I said, it's really weird that like the other big characters like Cinderella and Prince Charming are only mentioned by name, but I think they like again I think they still wanted to really establish themselves from the comic. Yeah. And then here we go. This this moment, like I said, I'm still really I'm astonished with just how much it could really change, like how much can really like twist and turn from it. Like you know, I'm really I will say that like it in my opinion, I think there is such a thing as a bad ending for this game. An ending that I don't think anyone in their right mind should honestly want.
Which would be
oh, dude, just no one gives a shit about Bigby. No one trusts him. No, like even Snow turns her back on him.
and that would have happened if you killed him.
Well, not only if you killed him, but if you like didn't do a good job trying to justify your actions. Why? And Bluebeard calls for your resignation. So again, I haven't seen it, but like firsthand. But like I tooled around and try to check out what's going on. But here, like I said, I really try to play by the book of Fable Pound Compact.
It was Mr. Georgie Porgy who killed those women, not me.
What? It was Georgie?
Yeah, but like this social engineering motherfucker. So I'm assuming you brought him in as well. And like, did you kill Georgie or did you let him suffer?
I killed him. Yeah. And I was upfront about it. I was like, I killed him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned it too. Like I fucking killed him.
Is he still out there?
Like, nope, he's dead.
He's dead.
He had to be dead. But I love that Snow doesn't like look at me or like admonish me.
Yeah.
She does
Doesn't
mention
let
that
off the
shit she'll have to get to like later on.
In which case you still have
Yeah. There's no way that Georgie can escape not dead.
We have to read the rest of the charges.
I did that too. Yeah. And I know at one point that actually the mob doesn't want him to speak, but I actually gave him the chance to speak. I was like, the only way this is gonna work is if we play it by the rules.
Right.
He has a chance to defend himself, and I don't know if maybe he doesn't get a chance to talk if you just go along with like no, like you don't have a chance to say anything, you're done.
The attempted murder of Sheriff Bigby Wolf.
And I love that. I had to mention twice this motherfucker tried to like put the ice on me.
For the forced prostitution at the Pudding and Pie.
I mean, it is true that a lot of this stuff. I mean, he can actually, say that I wasn't the one that did any of this. Like I gave them an option, they chose to take it. He obviously he forced them into it, but
through
in a court of law, but in a court of law, I mean, they might not see it that way. I mean, there's people like that right now in our society that can get away with that kind of stuff because all they're doing is giving them a choice. It's really up to them if they want to take it or not. Like doesn't make them the bad person, quote unquote. Which it's kind of interesting
weird too.
how
you know
much...
what wins you points against Crooked Man that I found strange that you'll notice too, and I went researched and it is true. Mentioning Crane, like the fact that you mentioned that he kidnapped Crane or Crane's missing because of him, it earns you points behind the invisible point counter that's going on in this debate. So, and again, there's a point where like our authorities being called into question, especially during the interrogation, and then when you mentioned again that Crane was like the authority at that time, that immediately reverses the favor back in your side, and the crowd again goes back to pointing basically your argument. So I just found that the whole thing strange. I also found it strange I didn't I let go of his handcuffs. Why the fuck he doesn't need to be not handcuffed?
Yeah, that's true.
But he's definitely not physically imposing.
No.
I don't know. It's weird because he is and he isn't, but like I had such a bad vibe when I uncuffed him.
Like he was gonna try something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Are you gonna get to your
Trying his best to sway them, and he does for a little bit.
Yeah, I was pretty confident. Like I said, I'm like, I don't think I've done anything to really fuck this, because like I kept thinking like I could have ripped off arms, I could have beaten on Beast, I could have done a bunch of shit to really make me look like not the cool, confident asshole that I wanted to look like, and I'm pretty sure I look like it from my actions. And again, all of it really boils down here.
Holly, please.
So I really want to show a point too, that he tries many attempts to again sway the crowd against you, and one of those attempts is automatically quashed because of Lawrence, just for the fact that
Yep.
he's there. Like,
Yep.
like you'll notice it that like right here, this is like his first argument.
You understand wanting to protect what you care about, don't you? You'd do anything.
And even then, like,
Innocent man.
oh, dude,
Considering it,
like,
yep.
yeah, seeing that point,
right. They don't do it because they want to protect you. You intimidate people. You
Hmm.
and it's true, but like seeing him try again and having like Lawrence just his word being spoken up, like, I love that, like that it gives so much validation to not only like I mean I'm glad I saved him, but like here,
Yeah. Same.
I know what you do to people.
I'm like
I've seen
fuck
it
yeah,
firsthand.
like
What
such
you
an
did with
advantage.
The way you manipulated her. Do you really think any of those girls were free? Do you really
And even then, this social engineering motherfucker.
Yep. Spinning it around on him. That's what he does, though.
Right, and you kept them in debt so they couldn't leave.
Yeah,
That's what you did.
Yeah.
so dope.
Yeah.
It
Girl.
was not me who put you in that position. You all act like I'm some kind of
I don't know. I guess like playing through this, I don't want to say I sympathized with the Crooked Man, but I definitely did see that, you know, he's just, I mean, he is trying to profit off of their, you know, suffering and their, you know, their situations. But I never saw him as like,
Oh, malicious asshole. I did.
I guess I couldn't. I don't know. I just thought maybe like that was why he was such a good villain was, you know, sometimes the best villains in games, you know, especially in games, the best villains usually have like the motives where you're like, well, that I guess that kind of makes sense in a weird way.
So as I
Like,
mentioned,
you know,
when I like
with
I
the
just
train coming.
yeah it didn't register that like that I made that decision. It went off of my original playthrough, so just to keep in mind, that was a one-time thing I did for this video. But yeah, I fucking burned it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did.
What?
Yeah, but then they kind of turn on you here. I think honestly, like the two times that they kind of turned on me during this was because I had burned her tree down and because I had killed Georgie. Were like the two things they kind of had on me, you know. But that wasn't a whole lot to get them swayed into, you know, his favor.
Yeah. And so did they mention like your brutality against Gren at all?
But you can't lie to me.
I don't think they did.
They
I
can.
think I mean, I'm sure it may have came up, but it never swayed anyone. I think the more the fact that I killed, was it Tweedledum?
Yeah.
I think killing him actually did get me kind of, you know, like Curry Man kind of used that against me, like he's a murderer, he's killed, you know, and kind of tried to use that against
Yeah,
me.
and Beauty and Beast, they don't argue with me a whole lot in my trial because
Yeah.
as I mentioned, like making the cool, confident detective deductions that I did in the room,
Yeah, right.
and the fact that I also didn't beat Beast when he was down. They only had that
Yeah.
one like,
I can promise to always have
whoa, with Anti-Greenleaf, but like,
Mm-hmm.
Been great for a while now.
and
We
that
bring it
right
back
there.
pretty quick.
Well,
Well,
I
like-
love that they take responsibility. I'm like, we're gonna do a better job
Yeah.
protecting you from
Yeah, we're gonna try this.
assholes.
And like, I was kind of going back to Crooked Man, like as a villain. Like I think he's a lot like other villains in video games. And I guess I kind of want to compare it to another choice-based video game like Mass Effect, where each villain in all three of the Mass Effect games, you could kind of understand their point of view, like where they're coming from. And I guess that's kind of what I see him as. Like, you know, Saren, he was always like trying to, you know, just do what's best for, you know, the galaxy. You know, whether if it meant, you know, doing kind of things he wasn't really proud of. He would do it because it was for the better of everybody. You know, like each enemy in Mass Effect had a reason for doing what they did. I felt Crooked Man did have a reason. Like he was trying to keep them. I mean, although they were
He's
kind of
extorting
indebted
them.
to him, he was, and they were indebted to him. But he thought it's the only way they could really make a living. Like otherwise, they'd
No,
be
he
dead.
saw it as an opportunity to continue making a living. Again, I don't. He's Machiavellian through and through. There's no sympathy for him. I totally thought, by the way, that like I had the fucking trial one right here and then.
Yeah.
I've like it's so funny because people talk about how much of a hard time they had. I'm just like, yeah, well, that's because you were a dickhead playing. Like that shit comes back at the end. Like that trial, you get through it easily. At this point, like the crowd, you know,
What about your
the crowd definitely sticks with you.
Wholeheartedly on your side. Yeah.
There's no evidence.
I don't know. I still feel like he wasn't a hardcore villain. I know, but I think you and I see it two different ways. Like I just.
Oh no, he had to go.
For profit.
Like
It might
there
be.
was
It might be.
nothing
It
that
might,
like I
it-
think community service would have been able to do. He's a
I
manipulator.
think that's why. I mean, I think that's why I had him, incarcerated because I felt like, yeah, he did profit off the suffering of the people and did things that were probably not good for them. But I didn't see him as, although he made the, he's probably the one that told Georgie to kill those girls. He was the one that pulled the trigger, quote unquote.
Oh, so here's one too. They mention the interrogation? Well, yeah, we talked about, but they did also include your interrogation along with you killing Tweedledum. Or did
I don't know.
that
I think
replace
it's,
the interrogation?
I think so. Yeah. Or no, nope. That was an option I saw. Like I said, I didn't really get brutal with him during the interrogation. Bluebeard did. Like I didn't really do anything to him, so it never really came up because I wasn't being forceful.
Yeah, I only got forceful with him once, and you saw it was near the end.
And it actually came up there, yeah.
And see this, like, I can't have sympathy for such like somebody who's such a fucking worm.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't even seem remorseful or anything. He's playing this huge victim card. I'm like, dude, you've done nothing to recognize as a victim.
We'll deal with them after we deal with you.
And I'm trying to resume a sense of order because at one point we had the sense of order. And this motherfucker somehow did it again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, it really added to the suspense.
Yeah.
But like, oh, man. Like at some point, like I honestly felt like I don't know. I felt like I was able to collect enough to really get him on the slab. And I don't know whether or not you bring him back dead or if you're super fucking up. Because like I could have sworn there is a fail state where you super fuck up, but I think Narissa shows up no matter what.
Miss White,
Yeah. It's true.
And even then, the fact that you can just deny her the chance to say something, which in this situation would be really stupid.
Yeah, like you need all the help you can get.
I'd like to. I need to say something.
Yeah, like, oh, you don't need to do this. No, you should fucking speak.
You probably don't remember.
I love this too, though.
I don't know
There's
why I was
like,
afraid to come here. Just shut up.
oh man, just seeing her stand up to him.
For years. Let us hear
Yep.
stories about what you do. Told us we would lose everything if we stepped just one toe out of line. And we couldn't say a word about it because of these damn ribbons.
And I love too, because notice how he recognizes.
To talk.
How are you?
Yeah, how are you able to say all this? Like you should be quiet. Mm-hmm.
Did you kill her?
Like, nope, killed herself.
She wanted you all freed.
That's what I said too. Yep.
Be quiet.
We need to establish some order here. Vivian wanted you freed from the ribbons. She took her own life.
Uh-oh. Don't have anything to say now.
Narissa. My name is Narissa.
So,
He ordered
And there it is.
there it is. There's the evidence.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need.
You know what's funny too is she also mentioned something that also I don't know if it was just her getting excited in the heat of the moment.
Damn about me. And now
Um,
I can finally say
I love that too.
you're an asshole. And I hope
I
you
really wanted to let her get her word in.
for what you did.
Yeah, let her get her shots.
He made Georgie do it. It was always
the fact that she mentioned this one little tidbit always kind of threw me off.
Ever.
You're going to take
5 other girls,
At least 5
I-
other girls will back me up on this. We all heard you say it.
and that too, like something was
Yeah.
kind of strange about that. It kind of
Yeah,
threw me off,
because-
and then when it
yeah.
gets confirmed on the street, I'm like, But still,
Like there was never other girls.
yeah. But like, you know what? Fuck that. Like, they're like, I still felt like there were like him existing was still an issue.
Listen to yourselves.
You're all rats,
Hmm.
fleeing from one sinking ship to the next. So
And,
quick to latch onto whatever will keep
just-
miserable lives afloat. This is
You've
how
done
you do it.
fucking nothing, dude.
What, you take 2 people's lives away and now you want mercy?
You know we can't let you go free after this.
And man,
Comes
Really?
down to his judgment.
so, and again, I really want to like,
Now for your sentence.
We don't have to become murderers.
What are you talking about?
ah.
He's guilty.
This was really, like I said, this was a kind of a
We can imprison him. Lock
kind
him
of a
up
toss-up. It really kind of threw me for a loop because, like, again, I wanted to really kind of show that I was capable of redemption and compassion, but like capital punishment isn't like that isn't above capital punishment. And to me personally, in his given situation and like all the multiple counts of shit that he's done,
Look, I'm making the call.
yeah, I didn't like her saying that. I'm the fucking
Yeah.
sheriff. You chose me to do this.
Yeah, my job. See, I went with the vote though. I figured if it was democratic that that we all vote, but then they end up just saying go, do it
I
anyways.
figured
So,
with all the shit I've been through for the last 5 episodes,
you kind of
I fucking
deserve it.
deserve this.
You think
Yeah.
is right.
And you decide. Man, rip his head off would be brutal as shit.
Oh, I'm so tempted.
Teach him a fucking lesson.
No.
So
That's crazy.
I wanted to show something. Even if you wait that long, he'll still pull something,
He'll still do it. Yeah.
whether you choose something or not. And it's great too because like, and I love this too. Like, yeah, fucking hit him. Ah, but that God, that
Ooh,
smarmy
taunting you.
remark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, you're given a chance.
Yep. To confirm your choice.
And I love this too.
You know, just between us,
I was gonna let you, and you can get that from either choosing the first time to lock him up or just delaying.
Yeah.
Who the fuck will miss him?
Hmm.
Yeah, but like, like, and they use the witching well several points for capital punishment, but like, I don't understand why it's like, especially the anti-Greenleaf, why it's been made this ordeal. Like the man, honestly, in my opinion, earned that point. And as far as I've learned, if you don't come up with a permanent situation to trap your captors, especially like, believe it or not, when I thought about like, when she mentioned about like keeping him in captivity, what was really paranoid in my mind is that there could be a crooked man loyalist.
Yeah, and somehow he'll come back. Well, Auntie Greenleaf probably was that loyalist out
For
of
all I
anyone
know,
there.
exactly.
She was the one that had the most remorse for the fact that he dies.
Yeah, so, and I didn't get a chance to really trust her. So this is an incredibly important scene to me
Not easy to forget.
within...
I still didn't pick up on any of this stuff. I really didn't at
Again,
all.
so here's the thing. This is what really threw me off. Why is she still wearing it? And then why does she defend still wearing it? I couldn't help, but I had to reach for it.
I
Yeah.
came here because I have to tell you.
So,
something.
there were just huge red flags.
It's about what happened to Faith and
But
Lily.
again, it's a really big like I don't know, how did you feel? Did you feel like anything you did was like a waste?
But then
Like throughout the game?
Yeah, because of this knowledge that she's dropping on you, this quote unquote testimony.
No, because I feel like since I chose incarceration and I chose that, we all voted on what we do with him, I felt ultimately me bringing him to justice create a sense of, yeah, the system does work, because I think everyone else up to this point thought, what's the point of having a sheriff? What's the point of having all these rules if they're never enforced? Like, nobody's doing what they're supposed to do. People just decide and choose what they want to do, and they get away with it. Like for Holly and for, trying to give her some sense of closure for Lily's death, and for Faith, with Lawrence. Like, I felt like, maybe killing the Crooked Man would have been good for them because they wanted that vengeance. They wanted their brand of justice. But for the rest of the town, they need to see that the system does work somehow.
Yeah, but
against all odds, the system
isn't
does
above
work.
capital punishment, though. Like, they do kill.
Yeah, they do. That's why they have the well. But I did feel like I had to create this sense of, the system can work. Snow and I can actually run this town, and we can do it the right way. We can make sure people are punished for their crimes, that people can be safe, but we will do it by the rules, and we'll do it by the book. That's just the way. And like I said, I didn't sympathize with Crooked Man, but I didn't feel like he had to die. I just felt like, the punishment, and in my case, I felt like his punishment did fit the crime.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty ambiguous. I can honestly go both ways. And honestly, as weird as it sounds, I don't know if I'm searching into it too deeply, but also another clue that I didn't pick up on until, like, more that went on. Notice when I lit her cigarette, I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but Faith also had me light her cigarette. And, like, she never had a lighter. So it's just weird. You would think that someone who smokes... Also, in the office, you can light Nerissa's cigarette. She never... For someone who smokes, why doesn't she fucking have a lighter? It's weird.
It's kind of weird, yeah. She has to avoid fire or flames for some reason. We're not sure why, though. But then she starts putting things together, and you start putting things together about, like, the ripped jeans and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but, like... The fabric that that you find, you do notice there's something peculiar about the fabric that also sells it, right? What color is it?
I cut my leg trying to get over the fence.
Fabric? Isn't it blue?
Exactly.
Sounds like a blue jean. Yeah.
Now, Nerissa, even in street clothes, never wore that hint of blue. But the top that Faith wore was that same blue. And that when she said that she left that there, that just threw me off because also, if you remember the clues too, like you smell Faith's blood on the cloth, but she said she cut herself.
Or Lily. Nobody cares about us.
I don't know. Like I said, lots of fucking clues and shit that like I don't know. I don't know if I definitely felt like I also picked up on little extra through a second playthrough. But yeah, it's I don't want to blow my horn here, but I honestly felt like I got the most out of this game and what it had to offer, because I feel like the game punishes you, I think, for making wrong decisions. It's not like I don't feel like it's a choose your own adventure. It's there is such a thing as a right choice.
Yeah, and a wrong choice.
Yeah.
Sure, that's not true.
So
Crazy.
I and like I said, this. I don't know. This definitely felt validating, and this, that last thing you get to say to her, do you just hope that you've done some good? I honestly felt like that because, like, I wanted to assert. My biggest concern was just asserting myself as the sheriff, and just making sure that like people knew who the law was, but I didn't want anybody to ever like question my loyalty to them. I don't know what you chose. Did you choose the same thing?
I did, yep. Yeah, that was my same choice.
You've changed this.
And here we go. Big old mind fuck.
It was a mind fuck, 'cause I had no idea what it meant initially. I saw that and I was like, what just happened? Like, I don't know what's going on. I thought we were cool, I was like, oh, she's going and she's leaving, she gets what she wants. And
did you not recognize that line that she mentioned there? That was also
I did.
Huge clue.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, because she said the same thing. Well, Faith said the same thing. Yeah, and he's kind of putting all these things together.
I have to tell you something.
I don't know. Did it put this much together for you?
I didn't. Initially, I didn't know. I was fucking. It was over my head.
And then, like, I was
Completely over my head.
calling it too. The fact that, like, the autopsy from Dr. Swinehart, he's a flawless physician.
Yeah, I let her go because I didn't know. I was like, yeah, I'll let her go. I don't know why not.
Yeah, and that ominous. I'll see you around, wolf.
Yep.
It was a little ominous, but I'm glad you guys got to join us here for Press Pause Radio's Games Club Video Companion for The Wolf Among Us. Comment what you think.
Thanks.